together,
we can make our homes
a safe place.
inside and out.
Out of sight, out of mind. Sometimes when the kids are playing outside, it's easy to forget to keep an eye on them. But there are some very dangerous spots outside that kids don't see the same way, making it more important than ever to stay on your toes. So let's take a look around to identify some potential dangers outside the home. In most homes, the garage is used to store all kinds of dangerous items, including flammable liquids such as lawnmower fuel, turpentine and paint thinner. Because these are everyday household items, we often don't think about locking them away, but they can cause flame burns and poisoning. So make sure you store these dangerous liquids out of reach of small hands, and always lock up your garage or home shed. And most importantly, talk to your kids about the dangers associated with these items. Despite comprehensive education programs and legislative reforms in recent years, child drowning in home swimming pools are still a major concern. And if drowning doesn't prove fatal, it can leave a child with devastating long-term injuries. Most drowning involves children between the ages of 12 months and 8 years old. And remember, just because your children can swim doesn't mean they won't drown. They can still fall in and hit their head, rendering them unconscious, so you can never be too careful when it comes to pool safety. Here are some simple tips to help keep your kids pool safe. Always make sure the pool gate is shut properly and that the self-closing mechanism is in good working order. Never prop the gate open with anything. Children can easily follow you into the pool enclosure without you knowing. While pool fences are an important deterrent, they can provide a false sense of security. Never assume that your pool fence is infallible. While there are stringent regulations regarding pool fences, they must be checked and maintained on a regular basis to ensure they provide continued protection. Remember, some children are climbers and could eventually find a way to scale the fence and enter the pool enclosure. To deter them from climbing, remove all furniture near the pool fence. You'd be surprised what they can find around the yard to help them scale the fence or reach the gate latch. Make sure all pool toys are stored away and not left floating in the pool to attract small children. Not only are kids attracted to the brightly coloured toys, but once they're inside the pool enclosure, they're tempted to reach out for the toys and can easily fall in. Pools are silent killers, so you don't often hear anything when a child falls in. It is a legal requirement to display a CPR sign in your pool enclosure. Make sure it's easily visible and in good condition, and replace it when the sign becomes sun-faded and hard to read. You may not think a simple sign is important, but in a stressful emergency situation, it can provide life-saving instructions. The bottom line is that you must give your children 100% of your attention when you're around water. And this includes creeks and dams too, where there has been an increased incidence of drowning. Always know where your children are and keep them in your sight. Nothing beats parental supervision. Talk to your children about the dangers associated with swimming pools and the importance of only entering the pool enclosure when they're with you. As well as displaying the CPR sign by the pool, make sure you learn and practice the steps of CPR. Finally, know and practice the steps you would take in an emergency and keep emergency numbers visible near the phone. Low-speed vehicle runovers in home driveways have become more prevalent, with around 3 children a week being injured in Queensland. Sedans cause the most injuries, while four-wheel drives cause the most deaths, especially in young children who can be crushed by the weight of the car. But it's not only small children involved in driveway accidents. Children as old as 15 are often injured by not paying attention to where the vehicle is or being distracted by headphones or mobile phones. While reverse cameras help in some instances, all vehicles have blind spots. Small children are very quick, and by the time you've checked your mirrors and camera, a child may have moved behind the car unnoticed while you continue to reverse out. In many homes, the play area and driveway are right next to each other, so it's essential you make sure the children move from their play area before you reverse your vehicle. Remember, they're focused on playing, not on your vehicle. And if at all possible, fence your driveway. Many Queensland homes have the garage under the house, which is easily accessible to children. It's not uncommon for children to follow an adult through an open door, leading from the house to the garage unnoticed, resulting in a potentially life-threatening situation. It's much safer to always close the door behind you or hold onto your child's hand. Take special care when saying goodbye to family and friends leaving your house. While you're distracted, it's easy for children to wander onto the driveway behind the vehicle, so make sure you hold their hand. Once again, to ensure you avoid a driveway accident, nothing beats parental supervision. Don't move the car unless you know exactly where the children are, and if they're not in the car with you, make sure you can see them or that they're being supervised by another adult, preferably on the veranda away from the driveway or inside the house. Make sure you lock your car when you leave it in the driveway. Children have been known to climb into unlocked cars and play with the controls, such as the handbrake, causing the car to start moving. They often get a fright and jump out, which is when they can sustain serious injuries. It may seem obvious, but if your children are in the car with you, make sure they're properly restrained before you turn the ignition on or move the car. They could accidentally open the door and fall or jump out, not realising the danger. Finally, talk to your children about driveway safety, so your family won't have to experience the horror of you or someone you know and love injuring one of your children. So what are the main points to remember? Nothing beats parental supervision. Prevention is always better than cure. If possible, learn basic first aid and how to conduct CPR. Hopefully you'll never need to use it, but it will provide you and your family with great peace of mind. Have an emergency plan. Know and practice the steps you would take in an emergency, and keep emergency numbers visible near the phone. You never know who might need it. Finally, talk to your children about safety at home, so you and your family won't have to experience someone you love being injured. Thank you for taking the time to find out more about protecting one of our most precious assets, our children. To find out more, visit our website.